You're horrible, Mark. Burst into flame.
The difference between what's pretend and what's real.
Burst into flame. You're horrible, Mark. Flame.
Welcome to another escape route stream. Welcome to another spooky stream. I'll just get into position and then we're pretty much ready to go. I got a coffee on the go. A coffee ready to satiate my tired brain and frame. Just getting the chat in view. Nice and big where I can see it. I'm pretty much ready to go, I think. Hey, Inuyuki Hacker Show, how's it going? Jacob, welcome. Just gonna jump straight in. Ah! In a way, I'm glad that we're playing through Doom 3 on normal. Because getting back into it about a week after we last played it, I'm probably going to be a little bit out of practice. And I will probably need to warm up. Oh, where did I save my save file to? Let's check the USB drive first. That seems like a solid guess. Yeah, USB drive it is. Have I tasted coffee-flavored Coca-Cola? I may have at some point. I've definitely had coffee... It says Sunsoft is back. I'll fix that. I definitely have had coffee-flavored cola from Tesco, and it wasn't very nice. They did a range of fancy colas. They had like a botanical cola. That one was quite nice. They did a coffee cola. I wasn't really impressed with that one all that much. Their botanical cola was quite similar to... There was a brief time that you could get a Pepsi called Pepsi Raw here in the UK. Raw is in R-A-W, not R-O-A-R. Pepsi Raw was friggin' gorgeous. Was so good. I recently had Fentiman's Curiosity Cola. I used to like that back when I first had it years ago. But I don't know if they changed the recipe or what, but Curiosity Cola just tasted kind of shit the last time I had it.
Hope to get reinforcements. Find that card and find it fast.
Yeah, little robot's got it under control.
Attention. All personnel evacuate the facility. rod 2 offline. Main reactor operation temperature exceeding safe levels.
Little robot. Oh my god. Where does it get off spawning these?
Warning. Coolant rod 2 offline. Main
Achievement,
reactor
please.
operation temperature exceeding safe levels. Warning.
Thank you.
Coolant
Right.
rod 2 offline.
Now I can focus on this properly. We
Main
may get a
reactor
PS5 Pro
operation
blog
temperature
post announcement
exceeding safe
tomorrow,
levels.
or the 19th, or the 20th. Keep moving that goalpost. I think Sony should consider releasing more than one game for their console before releasing the enhanced version, but I mean, how many games are there on PS5 that will actually benefit from an enhanced console? Can't be that many. It's Astro, right? But I don't think that will require a better PS5. It runs perfectly fine on the base, right?
Warning. Coolant rod 2 offline. Main reactor operation temperature exceeding safe levels.
Almost sick 3. I love to hear it. I'm glad you're getting better. I feel okay, which means I'm probably long overdue getting sick at some point. I had a bit of IBS earlier this week, but I'm pretty sure I know what caused that. And it was, I love jalapenos. Yum, 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 yum. Oh no! I think that was what caused that.
Warning. Coolant rod 2 offline. Main reactor operation temperature exceeding safe levels.
I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear you getting better. This appears to be off broken. Okay. So from here onwards, I think this is all going to be like new to me. And I don't mean cutting off my bollocks. I mean, it's going to be new to me. Just pressing the button on the coffee machine again. It doesn't give me a full cup of coffee anymore in one go. I have to do 2 goes of the coffee machine. Don't know why. But after the second dispense, we should be good. Oh my god! Is that what the Lost Souls look like for us? Please tell me you've got something good in your PDA. Add the cabinet code to your report. Do I have Lloyd's PDA? Lloyd Brenstrom? I'll play through this on easy at some point to clean up all the achievements. That's when I'll get all the lockers. No, I refuse to allow this to be a thing. I'm losing way too much health. A horror farming game. Oh, is the horror farming game finally going to be a real thing? The kill your wife, hide her body in the garden, and don't let the cops know. The horror farming game that Vinesauce Joel made up, that somebody thought was real, that there was a massive lost media search for. I take it that's finally going to be a real thing. Okay. Ready for him now. I know what's coming. Need to activate the thing first.
Service bridge now operational.
Why are those so hard to kill? Fuck! One of the lead designers for Concord wrote that many Concord devs refuse to ever make games, art, or characters again. Good! If you're going to allow that to make you want to leave the industry, you're not thick-skinned enough to be in the industry. I assume that they were not working for 8 years for no pay. Okay, they would have been paid to work on Concord. They would have been paid to develop. They would have been paid to make art. They would have been paid to design characters. They would have been paid to program. They would have been paid to make music. Right?
Service bridge now
they didn't do any of that
operational.
shit for free. They were paid to do it as part of their job. Yes, the game you worked on failed, and I bet that is really, like, upsetting. That the internet's reaction to your hard work is probably really upsetting. At the end of the day, you still got paid to do that work. if you're going to allow it to upset you to the point where you walk away from the industry, then you're not thick-skinned enough to be in the industry. You can hand your job over to me. I'll take it. Never give up, as The Rock said before he lost 200,000 social media followers. I dread to think what happened to make The Rock lose that many followers. Did he turn around and say, "I'm in Fortnite now"? Everyone's like, "Oh no." Great, if I am having to watch my ass for Lost Souls now all the time, I'm going to have a miserable experience with this game going forwards. Oh boy. Right, coffee machine has done its click to say it is now off. I have, in my past experience, known it to piss out a little bit more coffee after it's told me it's off, so I'm going to let it sit there for another minute.
All personnel evacuate the facility.
They deal way too much damage for my liking. The main thing is being out of the way when they charge you, which is awfully similar to how they work in the original Doom as well. It's alright while I got room, like in this area. It's fine.
Hazard doors sealed. Please contact plant management for immediate assistance.
Gotta find a PDA. Not hearing another scream.
Warning. Reactor core temperature 235 degrees Celsius.
Extremely volatile. Extremely volatile, $1 million lifestyle. Wow. There's a lot to unpack there. The Rock pees in water bottles. Presumably he doesn't then drink it. Or give it to fans. You want to be like The Rock? Here, drink my steroid piss. Oh dear. If he's pissing in bottles, so long as he empties it later. He's not doing it in front of other people. Fuck. Imagine every poor disabled person that has to piss in a medical bottle while they're driving their car. I'm sure it's a little bit different in The Rock's case, though. Claims his first in and out visit were 3 different times. I don't understand what an in and out is. He shows up in his car to tourist buses, but it's just an ad. He lied in charities and shows up late to movie sets. 8 hours late. If someone showed up 8 hours late to their job, I would fire them. Doesn't matter whether they're Steve Johnson down the road or Dwayne The Rock Johnson. If someone is 8 hours late for their job, you fire them. The Rock, though, he's got such a nice guy image. How come it's always the people with the nice guy image that are assholes? Fuck! Enemies coming out of fucking woodwork in this game. Or I guess the metalwork in this case. Wonder what the VR mod for this is like. Are we done, like, spawning several enemies for no reason? Yeah, enemy spawns are rare in, like, Doom 1 and 2.
Attention.
Enemies don't just, like, materialize. A door will open up, and then an enemy will come out from behind it, you know? Enemies don't really teleport in that much. It happens, but not that much. I think Doom 1 and 2 respects the player. Doom 3, I get the feeling not so much.
Warning. Reactor core temperature 585 degrees Celsius. Warning. Reactor core temperature beyond acceptable levels.
Marines,
Turned up late when filming the Santa movie. Maybe he was method acting.
I don't know what he'll do.
You know, the movie is about being on the naughty list. And someone who turns up 8 hours late is definitely on the naughty list. Oh dear. Taking this many hits to the face. Obviously, a little bit out of practice here. And this version has more ammo and more health pickups than the original. Wow.
Warning. Reactor core temperature 900 degrees Celsius.
So I don't know what drove me to come back to Doom 3 today as opposed to carrying on Astro. To be honest, I think I'm craving horror and I'm craving dark games. And I'm craving chilling out in the office with the lights off and the windows open. Replace Rod 2.
Do you see the card?
No, sir.
Okay, let's get to the communications facility. We can stop the transmission from there.
Whatever you say, Counselor.
Coolant Rod 2 online.
Okay, I get the feeling this room probably has a major shootout coming up. So I'm preparing for that. I just Discord messaged you about the state of Bloodborne PC from today. Is this like improvements to PS4 emulator? Because I know that there's support for resolutions up to 4K now, which is nuts. Doom 3 Big Fucking Gun Edition? Yep. Wow, that is one good looking. That's one good looking game on PC. I'm glad to know that PlayStation 4 emulation is getting that good. I was thinking about, I've got a PS4 kicking around here, a base PS4. I was thinking about putting a nice big hard drive in it, doing a jailbreak on it, installing custom firmware, you know, all that fun stuff. But I'd only really be using it to play PS4 games, and if PS4 emulation is that good now, I don't really need to set up a PS4 with custom firmware. So I could just emulate it. You're gonna play Doom VR on PSVR 1. Yeah, if you send me a PSVR 1. No, I'm referring to there's a VR patch for Doom 3 on PC that allows you to play Doom 3 with an Oculus. It's very cool. I'm curious to find out what the number of downloads are for that PS4 emulator since Bloodborne was more fully supported. Because you can basically clock that down to people who would have bought a PC version of Bloodborne. You can sort of roughly say that that's what those figures represent. Hey! Johnny, how's it going? Expecting like some enemies to crawl out for some pipe system. But I guess they're not doing that. Easily could have. They decided to not be assholes there. Yeah, I saw that tweet. Editing a chapter for a book you're writing. Oh, nice one. Let me know when it's done. Yeah, the guy who made Days Gone being shitty about it. Yeah, I saw the adults are talking tweet. That's just, if someone talks to you like that, disregard their opinion. Oh, the adults are talking. Fuck you, ya tosser. You know, as soon as someone speaks like that, just... The adults are talking. Quiet, child. Fucking... Someone obviously forgot to take their respect people pills this morning. That's the thing. Like, I'm fairly centrist. Sometimes I lean to the left. People should be allowed to smoke weed in their own home. I don't think it should be illegal here. I'm also lean to the right on quite a few things as well. that John Garvin, very right-wing, very right-leaning, is like, damn, you know, woke culture is why Days Gone failed. I'm like, possibly? To a certain extent, maybe, considering white male protagonist, standard heteronormative relationship, good ending where he rides off into the sunset with his lover. Yeah, okay, maybe there was a bit of that, but I don't think that's the reason why there's no Days Gone 2. I think the reason why there's no Days Gone 2 probably has something to do with all the information that's come out about how terrible a boss he was and how rude he was to people. And, you know, I try not to take other people's word as to what someone is like without having spoken to them or interacted with them before by myself. But I don't need to interact with the guy because I've seen him tell somebody else to shut up, the adults are talking, on Twitter. And that tells me everything I need to know about the person. And that tells me that everything I've heard about the person is true. Because the way they behaved demonstrably on Twitter today has shown me that the stories of how poorly he treated his staff are probably true. Is it so hard to just be, like, excellent to each other? Is it so hard to Bill and Ted in this day and age? This fellow was angry when people were buying Days Gone when it was on sale, saying, "Where were you when it was brand new, huh? Where were you then?" I'll tell you where they were. They were being savvy consumers watching their spending. Not everyone's got £1 million in their back pocket. Days Gone guy. Not everyone's got £1 million in their back pocket. I was told online, like yesterday and the day before, just buy Bakeru. You know, why are you waiting for Spike Chunsoft to hand out keys? Just buy Bakeru. It's like, not everyone's got money. And I'm not going to sell my body or my organs to afford Bakeru. I already bought it a year ago on Nintendo Switch. It's partly our sales of the Japanese copies that resulted in seeing there was a market outside of Japan in the first place. Plus, our English translation patch proved that people were interested in playing not only the game in English, but translated authentically, not full of unnecessary extras and additions, changes in the script. So I say, if somebody waits to buy a game on sale, like Days Gone, we should be congratulating that person for managing their spending sensibly, and we should be thanking them for still checking out the game and still buying it. Because at the end of the day, they still put down their money to get it. Yes, they put down less. They still put down their money to get it. They still voted with their wallet for your game. Yes, it was on sale. Yes, you made less money. But they still voted for your game. You know? I say that should be worth a lot more than it is to the people who who are so full of themselves like that. Oh, where were you when the game was brand new? Why weren't you buying it then? It's like, because I had to make a decision. I can't just, like, drop money on things willy-nilly. I have to think about the practicality of spending my money. Rumor is Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster and FF7 Plus Rebirth for Xbox. Would I buy the game again on Xbox? If they did it as a double pack, physical. They did it as a double pack physical. So, Rebirth. It's a remake on 1 disc, Rebirth on 2 discs. In a box, nice box. For Xbox, yeah, I'll get it again. And I'll just say to my brother, hey, happy crisp birthday. Happy birth mass. Don't bother giving me back my copy of 7 Rebirth that you're borrowing. Oh, for blowing up, what, like 100 barrels? 50 barrels. Didn't feel like 100 barrels. TGS 26th. Hold on, is that this month? Is that 26th of this month? We'll pencil it in. We'll do it. 26th. Is that... Google Keep. It says Google Keep. Get started. Because I just switched phone. 21st to 25th. So it's not during that time. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. If that's the 26th of this month, let's do it. Let's react to it. Yeah. Let's do it. You know what? How do I switch back to unarmed? There we go. I'm pretty sure there's an achievement for killing an enemy with unarmed. I'm going to do it and then I'm going to reload my save after not having taken the damage. It might be get a kill unarmed in multiplayer, but I think it's get a kill unarmed in single player. It was not a thing. Pixel Remaster would be nice on Xbox. Maybe this time Square Enix could actually, you know, give me a key. I've only ever had 2 keys from Square Enix. I've had Dragon Quest Treasures on Steam, and I have had Live Alive on Steam. If I got a Pixel Remaster on Xbox key, you can guarantee I would play through every Final Fantasy game from start to finish in that collection. Maybe not all in one, like, unbroken sentence moving from game to game, quite hypnotic. No, probably not, but I definitely would. September 26th, seizure warning, by the way, photosensitive epilepsy. Tokyo Game Show 2024 broadcast will return Thursday, September 26th, 11 AM UK. Thursday. Okay. I will have to make sure that if I am offered a work program meeting with my work coach on that day, that I can hopefully move it. Shall we reload the save? Because as far as I'm concerned, that was bullshit. It's always 10 in the morning here. Yeah, 11 a.m. UK. So I think you're an hour behind me currently. Yeah, I don't think the clocks are due to change back until... I think that's an October thing. I think. Teleport, can you? Oh, so that's what happened. I had 4 enemies up in my grill. That's why it died so fast. Sometimes it does get a little silly, you know? Hey, Zuvan, how's it going? Love the crap out of this Doom. I think it's okay. I mean, I think I like the classic Dooms better. But I must say, technology-wise, if we're talking about back when this came out in, what, like 2004 or 5, originally, I would have been quite impressed. Worth a shot. Yabi, can you explain the logic for me? When Final Fantasy was online was revealed for Xbox when Phil was with Yoshi P, a Sony pony tweeted, Square betrayed Xbox. Final Fantasy will sell worse because Xbox. How can it when it has sold well on other platforms? I think realistically, yeah, it's going to sell worse on Xbox. I think that's just generally going to be true because the Sony platforms are more commonly associated with JRPGs than the Xbox platforms are.
I don't know how much farther
Xbox hasn't really fostered a JRPG
take the transmission card.
Community in the same way that Sony
Isn't safe. We better move.
I think there's a very good chance that they wouldn't sell well on Xbox. I think there's a very good chance. But I believe in giving the consumer options. Right? I look at the cost versus loss. The majority of modern games are developed in a way that it is fairly easy to port them to another platform. When I say fairly easy, I don't mean click, click, done, though in the case of games for Unity, that's certainly the case, because Unity is designed to be that easy. That's why it's called Unity. All platforms, all programming languages. At least that was the core idea that came out. Oh, he implied that FF Online would lose sales. How can it lose sales? Are people gonna stop their sub because it's on Xbox now? No, that's silly. You can't lose sales for an online subscription-based MMO. I don't know how a lost sale would exist for something like that. How would one lose a sale? Oh. This is where I'm supposed to go. Oh no, if this is the level I think it is, this is the one that requires ducking in and out of buildings and opening and closing airlocks, and then there's like a tram system and oh. If so, this is where I got up to. Back when I tried to play this years ago. I don't know how FF Online would lose sales. That's just silly. But in terms of Xbox games, Final Fantasy games selling worse on Xbox, yeah, no, I think that's a given. I think out of all the platforms, that is the platform where Final Fantasy games will sell the least. But so long as it doesn't cost too much to factor in the Xbox platform as a potential platform, then my argument is let the consumers have the option of which platform they use. If consumers prefer Xbox, let them use Xbox. Now, I understand to a certain extent there's some limitations in the sense that, you know, you've got to hire people to handle support for that title. And that's going to cost money. You know, running support, manuals, you know, assistants.
Marine, get your ass to the communications facility as quickly as possible.
Console.
Gotta get that message to the fleet.
Fees, like Xbox. There's always going to be those things to consider when launching on another platform. Especially Xbox, where stuff is selling. But I think, you know, there's the concept of the loss leader, right? In supermarkets, you sell something, you know, at a low cost, you lose money on, but it drives people to buy more stuff, and it brings people into your ecosystem. If Square Enix releases more of their games on Xbox, they might bring more people into their Square Enix ecosystem. And over time, that will create new customers who become customers for life. So, I would say it's alright for them to release games on Xbox, because they can just act as a loss leader. Potentially drive up more business. Hey, Ant, how's it going? How you doing? Remembered playing this the first time and scaring me because of the zombies in the dark. Yeah, I didn't like it back when it came out because the flashlight was separate. Now it's chest mounted. The downside is that there's now a battery. That's how they keep the push and pull intact. Now there's a battery on the flashlight. But on the plus side, it's attached to your torso. I don't like how bloody and horrible this area is. Oh boy. Scan. Co-op? It might be. This is BFG on 360. If you have this, we can try it. I got a second-hand copy of something the other day with a 48-hour Xbox Game Pass ticket in it. Well, not Game Pass, Xbox Live. So maybe, provided that works, I can get online. Did that skelly move? Did that skelly move? Hit your goal of 10k. Oh my god, you is growing fast. You have absolutely zoomed past me. You'll have that silver play button in no time. You will have that silver play button in no time. Oh, spiders again. But I killed the queen spider. Shouldn't be any left now. I killed them all. Killed them all. Everybody who's subbed to Ant, come here. Yeah. Oh, shit. There's no oxygen down here. Oh, no. I didn't realise I was outside. I missed the ending. Did you get the cheat code that lets you do a remaster of Driver 1's tutorial level? Yes, I did have access to Driver 1's tutorial level. I played it for all of a couple of seconds and went, nope. I was like, oh, that's cute that they did that. And then, no. So I'm glad that I influenced you to grab Driver San Francisco. It's a good game. I'm really, when it comes to this generation of games, I would like to play as many of them as possible. This generation in particular is the generation I love. Xbox 360, PS3 era, especially Xbox 360, Wii, are kind of my jam. They are my bread and butter. there's a secret hidden around here. It's made hard to get because of the air.
Marine, get your ass to the communications facility as quickly as possible. You gotta get that
The new
message to the
Five
fleet.
Nights at Freddy thing, and it's not FNAF skins in Fortnite. I'm good, thanks. If it's not FNAF skins in Fortnite, I'm not interested. That said, I am interested in Funko. I didn't think I'd be interested in that Funko game. But it turns out it's quite interesting. There's a lot of Traveler's Tales DNA in there. A lot of former Lego dev DNA in there. You know, like Lego Star Wars, that sort of thing. A lot of former Lego stuff. And I played that demo, and I was shocked. I've had the urge to play old 360 games, so if you have any co-op ones, let me know. Do I have Dead Space 3? I don't think I do. Google Sheets, I know. Sorry, it's the first time I've used this this phone with a lot of these apps, so I inherited an older iPhone, but it's one where the reverse, you know, the back-facing camera isn't broken, so this has become my main phone, and now I'm running into issues with it. Got Dead Space 2. I don't think that's co-op. I think Dead Space 3 is the co-op one. I got Dead Rising 2 off the record. They're co-op. Got 50 Cent Blood on the Sand, actually. No, I've lent that to Garlips. I don't have that right now. Probably get it back, though. Army of Two, The Devil's Cartel. If you don't have a copy of that, I have a second copy of that I can give you. Let's see. Does Black Ops or Ghosts have online co-op? If it does, I've got a second copy of both of those that I can hand your way. I've got several copies of Dead Island and Dead Island Riptide. That's not co-op. I was going to say Eat Lead, The Return of Matt Hazard. That's not co-op. We've done Crackdown 2 and Crackdown 1, Crackdown 2, Crackdown 3. Kane Lynch 2 Dog Days. I've got a second copy of Dog Days. So that's an option. Can lend you a second copy of Dog Days. Let's see. What else do I have? Saints Row 2. I have it digital. If I can track down a physical copy of Saints Row 2, or if you've got a physical copy of that on Xbox 360, or digital copy, then we'd be able to play that. But we'd be able to play Saints Row 2 on Xbox Series though, so it wouldn't need 360. Yeah, Saints Row 2 has co-op. It's not very well put together, but it does have it. Online co-op. Skyrim. Co-op. I think that's about it for the 360 games that I have with co-op. What I will do is I will send you a link to my list. Keep in mind they haven't all been alphabetized. Some of them are at the bottom where they haven't been alphabetized yet. What about Gears 2? Like standard Gears 2? Because we could play Gears 2 on Xbox Series, and I would be able to play with my Japanese copy on Xbox Series because it's region free on Xbox Series. And that means I will get brand new achievements again. Isn't the first one co-op? I don't think I have the first one. It'll be in the list if I do. Have a look at the list I sent you, spreadsheet I sent you on Google Docs. Because that is an up-to-date list of all 410 plus Xbox 360 games that I have. Physical, specifically. That list. To be fair, I haven't been in the mind space to collab in quite some time. And I keep forgetting I'm more sociable than I realise. I like being around people, and if you had asked me, do you like being around people, like half a year ago I would have said, no, fuck people. I don't really like people. But as I've been out of work for longer and longer, I realised that I miss being around people. I miss interacting with people. Your voice is lower than the game when fighting. I see. Let me just crank that down a little bit more. Hopefully that's not too bad. Maybe a little bit more still. And there we go. Okay, yeah. Sorted. Gears 1 have an Ultimate Edition on Xbox One. Yeah, but if it costs money, I'm out. I do have... Skeleton moved again. I do have a... I'm not sure if it's 7-day or 14-day Xbox Game Pass voucher. So I do have the means to play it if it's on Game Pass, but I want to use that voucher when I know I've got a solid 7 or 14 days and there are several games that I want to blast through. So I'm saving that voucher for playing through Indiana Jones and what was the other big one? Indie and Call of Duty. Those are the big ones I don't want to shell out for. I knew there'd be secrets hidden around here. Medkit there. Nothing that important. Unlock hatch. There we go. And that's the save point. Alright. 19 Activision Blizzard King games might arrive to Game Pass. Yes, I've heard. I'm hoping that the Guitar Heroes are amongst them. But probably not. Fuck me. I can't even complain. That enemy's doing what I said enemies in this game should do. That's to be hiding behind walls that come down, not just teleporting in. Alright, take care, Anne. Is there a way up there? I want to get... Yeah, there's a ladder. It's fine by me. Cacodemon! I rode the Cacodemon. Family Guy, Madagascar, and Bakugan. Probably not. I mean, in the case of Transformers, Activision had the license, right? So when Microsoft bought Activision, they got the license for Transformers. I don't think Activision still had the license for Family Guy, Madagascar, or Bakugan. I mean, if they do have Bakugan, great. That might be a fun afternoon. Trying to play Bakugan poorly. Might be a good afternoon. Wow, frame rate. Whatever it is, something about looking through that portal and shooting enemies at the same time is really upsetting the game. Real bad. Wow. Wow! I wonder what causes that specific problem. Shooting through that portal, that gap. That made the game slow down like that. That's fascinating. Wow. Wow, I have never seen that kind of behavior in this game before. Wonder what it is about that gap. It's alright now. Something to do with shooting enemies through that gap. Oh yeah, this looks like fun, doesn't it? Beaver tooth. Industrial chainsaw. Hold up. Give me that. Not in my face, though. Wow. Yes. Chainsaw. Fuck yeah. That's satisfying. War for Cybertron. I'm fairly sure I have that, and there's another one on another one on Xbox 360. Let me have a look. If I open up my list, T for Transformers. Let's have a look. There are 3. Fall of Cybertron, Rise of the Darkspark, and War for Cybertron. I have all 3 of those. Just need Lollipop Chainsaw. Oh, a Lollipop Chainsaw mod on top of this game. Thought you meant I need Lollipop Chainsaw on Xbox 360. That's one I would love to get, but the price of that one has shot the fuck up. That's way too much money now. How's it going, Tack? Lollipop Chainsaw is ridiculously expensive at this time. And I'm hoping, as it tends to happen with games that get remasters, for a very brief moment, the price of the original game goes down. It's only ever brief, but it happens. Oh my god, this game is lagging like hell. Get 2 demons to fight each other. I don't know what I did. Sometimes I get achievements for doing things and I don't even realize I've done them. I reckon when the Lollipop Chainsaw remaster comes out, the original will go down in price for a very short period of time. And that is when I have to grab it, before it then shoots up. The remaster got a streamer mode. In what sense does it? If it stops the music, like licensed music, sure, okay. Streamer mode makes sense. If it makes any changes to the game's visuals and contents to make them more acceptable, then I am not turning that on if I play the remaster. If I get a key for the remaster, I'm not turning streamer mode on. This streamer says that his mode is the uncensored mode, or as close to uncensored as he can get. Because that's what he likes. And that's what he knows a lot of his viewers like. Why is this level particularly laggy with my flashlight turned on? Up until now, the performance of this game on 360 has been really good. Blood is a different color. Can I, like, keep the blood red and turn the copyright music off? No? Okay, copyrighted music and red blood it is. BRC support area 1. I'm not seeing an... Ah, here we are. Call. Who did I call? War is first, Fall second, Darkspark was an interquel that came out to tie in with the 4th film. Right, okay. So play them in release order. First, second, and then middle one. Because if they do drop on Xbox as is, Xbox Series as backward compatible, as is expected, then I may as well just play them on the Series instead. For whatever added performance boost or extras it brings to the table. So, that Nikocado avocado. Fucking hell. YouTube lagged out and put my comments several times. I only saw it once. It must have done weird things on your end. Tony Hawk said that 3 and 4 was put out. Tony Hawk's 3 and 4 will probably be remastered. Unless they've added backward compatibility for the original Xbox versions of 3 and 4. Otherwise, yeah, I think a remaster is probably more likely. I had heard something along the lines of 3 and 4 getting the remaster treatment in the same way that 1 and 2 were. Why? Why did you fall in there? I did remember hearing something along those lines, but I think it was just a rumor. And we all know how good rumors are. There's usually no point in putting any stock in rumors. So... I'm gonna err on the side of that being... Apply for a job at Xbox. What, so I can leak all the things that Xbox are up to? I'd have a job for, like, 1 day. Matthew, could you please stop leaking all the things we're working on? Haha, my name is Leaky Fawcett! No. What, just like work at Xbox? I'd love to. Hey, Microsoft. Hire me, and you'll never go hungry again! Ah, ha, 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 ha. Yeah, so I reckon it's better to err on the side of caution and say that Tony Hawk's 3 and 4 is going to be the original Xbox versions on backward compatibility. But that would require Microsoft / Activision Blizzard King to pay for song licenses that are in those copies. I don't know how the licenses really work, because let's take, for instance, like 50 Cent Blood on the Sand, you can't digitally purchase on Xbox Series, which is dumb. But you can't digitally purchase it. You can, however, play it back compat if you have a physical copy. So somewhere along the line, the licenses for, you know, like Candy Shop, Poor Little Rich, etc., like all the 50 Cent songs would have to have been negotiated at some point. Is it when you say jazz, do you mean jazz cordon bleu? Fucking jazz cordon. There's just certain people you look at and you go, how? How is it not dead? Fuck. Right, this was the room that unceremoniously robbed Doom Guy of his life. Kako means shit. Oh no. This area rings a bell. Which means I might have played this far and I might have died here. I like the exposed brains on the Cacodemon. That's kind of cute in a weird way. I think they might have peaked with this game's Cacodemon design. Xbox fanboys are weird. I considered myself one, sort of, up until recently. And then the way the Xbots have been acting, because, God forbid, Indiana Jones is going to PS5. It's like, great, Xbox are the beta testers. Like, I know how that feels. Xbox tells the Vesperia players were the beta testers for the Japanese PS3 version, which came out afterwards. The fucking manual for the Japanese PS3 version thanks the Xbox players for essentially being the beta testers. Sad situation. Like, I can't imagine being that invested in Xbox that, you know, as soon as one of their games goes to another platform, you know, you shit your pants and cry. It's crazy. It's strange business. It's unprecedented business. But if Microsoft thinks this is going to work, then we'll see if it's going to work.
Called to station.
We'll watch them try running an ecosystem across multiple platforms and not just their own system. We'll see them attempt this. We'll see what happens. We'll see if it's a success. I have, you know, lost faith a little in the plan, seeing how badly they've treated many Activision licenses since they've, you know, had them. But I think... I think there's still time for them to prove that their plan is gonna work. What station are we at? We're at station 1. We want to be in processing. Xbox One market in the EU, UK, and Asia. I mean, there was fucking hell. I think there was a time where that was a possibility. Based on the unprecedented nature of the ABK acquisition. There was a chance that something like that could have happened. As it turns out, it didn't. All of these restrictions might have been possible. Oh yeah, don't I know it? How the internet loves to twist people's words. Right, forwards, left for a secret. Is there anything here? No. Lift text. Frame rate's been really bad in this area. Batman Arkham Asylum was meant to be much darker. In what sense? Like this, where everything is pitch black? No, I know what you mean. To be fair, there are plenty of incredibly dark access area secured through Security Station 1. Fuck. Like, the tone was gonna be darker and... I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, as it currently stands, it's a little bit kind of zany, as is. And that zaniness suits Arkham Asylum. Like, that zaniness reminds you that it's a comic book video game. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. I should not have done that. You know, there were moments where silly things happened in Arkham Asylum, and I laughed it off because it's a comic book game. And that's fine. Little moments of zaniness work. I think if the game had been uber dark, I probably wouldn't have wanted to play it. Right, general access unlocked. Okay.
Service lift called to station.
Now I can go through the door. I remember now why I remember this area. Because, wow, this is bullshit. Door should be unlocked now. Now I see that demon was there to hint that there was something behind that demon. The level layout makes sense now. Through security station 1. Hold on, I opened that. Computer panel. Station 1. Area unlocked. Is that not it? Apparently not. Even though it says locked, unlocked, that's not it. So, what's the reason for going down there, then? Like a switch? Button? A push wall? Is it really just for the health down there? The Goonies will get a sequel. Oh. Does it need a sequel? They should try releasing the uncut version of the film first, before they consider a sequel. Because the Goonies, as we all know, is cut. There is at least one scene missing. One scene that we know of.
Service lift called to station.
there's a scene involving a giant octopus slash kraken. I think it's an octopus. At the end of the film, when the kids are talking to the press or whatever, and they say, "And there was an octopus!" and you can hear it on the overdub. And they're referring to a scene that was cut. Unless I get my Blu-ray remaster of the Goonies with the missing scene, as far as I'm concerned, there's no point in a sequel yet. Grr. How would a sequel work anyway? Would they just, like, age up all the goons? Freakier Friday. Oh no. I haven't seen the original Freaky Friday. It's one of those movies that, like, everyone's seen except me. I mean, it's classic live-action Disney schlock. It's probably fine. Sequel 12 years later. It does feel like pandering to nostalgia, doesn't it? It does feel like, oh, we're making a Freaky Friday sequel because the people who watched Freaky Friday as kids have money now. So let's make a sequel so that they'll go out and take their kids to see it. I'm such a cynic. I'm Cynic the Hedgehog. Whoa! The daughter is an adult and the mum is old. Right. They couldn't just, like, I don't know, reboot it? Feature new actors? It doesn't have to be a sequel. It's really kind of unnecessary, isn't it? I'm losing my brain over this.
Service lift called to station.
Oh, a live-action remake of Moana. Yeah, I mean, the only reason you would do that is because Moana was a big hit. It was a massive hit. It was a hugely successful movie. I haven't seen that either. I haven't seen Moana. I haven't seen Coco. I haven't seen Inside Out. A lot of these Disney things I have not seen. Okay, is that really just an optional area for some health? Fucking hell. I am so lost. Oh, this looks promising. Here we go. PopCap said no to a DreamWorks Plants vs. Zombies movie. Oh, that's kind of sad. I like Plants. I think it's a good franchise. An Illumination Plants vs. Zombies movie would work. Think about all the merch as well. All the money to be made off merch for that. You can have a plant and you squeeze it and it sings, "There's a zombie on your lawn. Don't want zombies on our lawn." Like that would be it. Yeah. I would watch a Plants vs. Zombies movie. If they did Crazy Dave justice, yeah. Doesn't like Crazy Dave have like a daughter now?
Maintenance exit now accessible.
In like Plants vs. Zombies 3 or something. Or in like some mobile game. I'd watch a movie about them fending off against zombies. Yeah, Robin Williams played Popeye in the Popeye live-action movie. Red Letter Media did a video on it recently, quite interesting, where they sort of talked about it. Reviewed the film, as it were. That was quite good. It's a shame that animated Popeye movie didn't come out. It's ridiculous to me that that got canned. Because it clearly had legs. It clearly had legs. Ooh, hitting us with the Plants vs. Zombies lore. Right.
Service lift called to station.
Now we can leave this fuck awful level. Nothing really spooky happened yet. Well, some lady's head came off her body, actually. That was kind of spooky. Sid the dummy. As in, like, you have to complete the tutorial first. That's Sid the dummy. I can't take that game seriously anymore now. Vinesource streamed it and just kept trying to leave the tutorial. You have to complete the tutorial first. You have to complete the tutorial first. Can't take it seriously now. Someone mentioned Sid the dummy, that's all I can think of. Suck. Four shotgun shells to the face. Is Comcap a guy or girl name? Well, it belongs to the male professor, doesn't it? So it's a male name. Capcom is the name given to, like, NASA HQ. It's short for... Now let's see if I get this right. Capital Command? I think. I don't think it's Captain Command. Because Capcom is the video game company. Had a character called Captain Commando. But I don't think it's Captain Command. I think it's Capital Command. I have to look that up. Capcom NASA meaning. Hey Siri. What is the meaning of Capcom in relation to NASA?
NASA means...
No. Siri. Hi Siri. Hi Siri. What is the meaning of Capcom?
Here's what I found.
You're an idiot. You're a fucking useless idiot. Capsule communication. No way I would have fucking got that. Capsule communication is what Capcom stands for in relation to NASA. And obviously the Capcom game company went, that sounds quite nice. We'll use that. It's also amazing that Siri wouldn't give me a straight answer. Siri is fucking useless. I heard that. I'm sorry I don't live up to your expectations. Yeah, Pragmata's one of the... There's like... maybe 3 or 4 games that I am invested in, and we don't know what's happening with them. DokeV. That can't come fast enough. Pragmata. I need it. Hook it up into my veins. Deep Down. What the fuck happened with Deep Down? Where's Deep Down? I guess number 4 would be Infinity Nikki, but that's probably going to come fairly soon.
Marine, are you at the communications facility yet? You gotta get that message to the fleet now.
Oh, Pragmata
Watch out for
means
Campbell and
space.
Swan. Those UHC suits don't give a damn about what happened to any of them. I gotta move on.
Well, in the etymology of English, the word pragmatic means to do something... it's like to solve a problem efficiently, smartly. So, finding a pragmatic solution means finding a proactive solution that completely solves the problem. A pragmatist is someone who... No, it don't. What do you mean that's not what it means? Hey Siri, what is the meaning of the word pragmata?
Pragmatic means dealing with things sensibly and realistically in a way that is based on practical rather than theoretical considerations.
So Siri, what does it mean to be a pragmatist? Hi Siri. What does it mean to be a pragmatist?
Pragmatist means a person who is guided more by practical considerations than by ideals. Do you want to hear the remaining one?
No, I'm good, thanks. Right. Well, there we go. I was slightly off on the definition. It is to solve problems as, you know, as quickly and efficiently as possible, but specifically in relation to ignoring ideals and morals and just finding, like, the ultimate solution that doesn't require, you know, that doesn't factor that in. I'd still consider myself a pragmatist, though. Because fuck feelings, they get in the way of facts. You know what I'm saying? Security access required. Well, don't offer it to me then. So the last 2 people are alive. So trying to, like, draw meaning from the word pragmata into how it might relate to the game. Encompassing the richness of the old Greek meaning of the term, pragmata means things but also deeds doing circumstances, contested matters, duties, or obligations. To act in the material world engaged with things. So perhaps 2 people who have existed out in space, going down to a world full of things to interact with them. That's all I've got. Combat pragmatist. It's not my fault for using a chair, it's your fault for being hit by a chair. The chair was the most effective way to win that fight. It doesn't matter that you feel cheated by my use of a chair.
Power fluctuations in main communications router 48A6. Attempting insulation reroute.
That opened like a little door. Was he hiding in a little door? Is there a little collectible? No. He teleported. Black! Bleg. Alright, take care, Jacob. Christ. Stop firing at me! Jeez! You'd think I was the only human left alive on Mars! Area locked externally. Well, don't give me the option then!
Attempt to configure secondary tower.
What's the point? Don't spawn enemies behind me! Fuck. Getting low on health now. Transfer bay locked. Of course it is. Everything's locked. Practicalist. No. Pragmatist
Communication system overload.
is a word. And it means what Siri said it means. I swear it's a word. I swear on the shit-stained underwear I stuffed into the bin at Southend when I shat myself on the bus. I swear on it. You're like, wow, too much information.
Marine. Delta system computers are showing all off-base communication down. It's that fool Swan, isn't it? You're gonna have to find another way to send that message. Make your way to the satellite room and manually establish a link from there.
Satellite
Base
room.
schematics are showing the quickest ways through engineering.
Yes, I put it in the bin.
Fail, Marine. Get that
And then I had
message
to walk like a mile without underwear to get to Primark to buy underwear. What a joyful trip to the seaside that was. Well. Got enemies with riot shields now. As I eat my brown lentil beans. Apologies. I will hold off on the details then. But essentially, IBS. Brought on by jalapenos. Oh my god! You don't realize you're taking damage until it's too late. It's kind of like shitting yourself, really. Nope. Some bad food that day. It was a pizza with jalapenos on it. Jalapenos and tomatoes. Which, you know, tomatoes are high acid. So having that the night before wasn't very smart. I had burning poops before the evening was over. Because jalapenos go right through you. And then my guts were uncomfortable until about 3/4 through the next day. Zombies with guns. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because the zombies with guns are like 69 health points. Nice. The zombies with guns are like a key component in the original Doom. But I swear they weren't anywhere near as dangerous in the original Doom. Standard zombie gunners. Like, the zombies with shotguns and the zombies with super shotguns are a lot more dangerous in the original Doom. As are the, you know, the same zombies here. They've got the same sort of, like, enemy balance. I just feel like I take way more damage in this. I mean, the moment-to-moment gunplay is really good. I'm glad I'm giving this a playthrough. I'm getting a feel for it. I think I tried to play this on PS3 back in the day. Oh my god, how many of these are gonna spawn? How many do we need? If I've proven I can kill one, I've proven I can kill 3. You know, I think you've got a point there. The hit scan tends to be a lot more accurate than physical projectiles. There was a mod for Doom that replaces all the standard hit scan enemies with gives them physical projectiles. And I swear the game is a lot more forgiving as a result of that. Being able to see the bullets. Being able to hide behind a wall and know that you're not going to get shot through it. It's like all the time I'm dealing with imp fireballs. They're slow, I can see them. But as you say, hit scan weaponry, it's all done by drawing like a line between the enemy and the player. As long as they can get a straight line. On the player, As far as the computer is concerned, the enemy can shoot you. And that doesn't matter if, you know, that line is being drawn through a tiny little gap. When I covered the Medal of Honor games for the tier list video, there was one such example of an enemy shooting me through a tiny gap. Like hit scan, shooting me through a tiny gap. You know, in a real war scenario, you wouldn't be able to shoot a person through such a tiny gap in the scenery. Medal of Honor Airborne is, like, really notorious for that. The enemies are such sure shots, even on lower difficulties. Oh! Oh no, wrong save, wrong save, wrong save. Wrong save. Wrong save. Now I have to load this one. This is probably the worst thing about this particular version of Doom 3. Is how long the loading times are. You'd think, given the age of the game when it came to Xbox 360, that, you know, you'd get faster loading times than this. Bucker! Absolute gobshite. I'd kill for the weaponry out of Wolfenstein right now. Speaking of Wolfenstein, I picked up the New Order on Xbox 360. I forgot that it was released on Xbox 360. It's a 4-disc game on Xbox 360. 4-disc. Oh, is that a Doom thing? Is that like a known Doom thing? I'm trying to remember if it does in the original Doom games or not. I don't think there was a machine gun. There was a Gatling gun. Like a chain gun. In Doom. What's the original Doom weapon set? Pistol. Shotgun. Chain gun. Plasma rifle. BFG. Chainsaw. Right? And then Doom 2 added the super shotgun. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So the machine gun is kind of a new thing. It's got like this weirdly HR Geiger looking ass. All these items. Like this machine gun looks like it's an alien creature itself. The kind of shape and feel of it. I'm not sure I ever did like this design. I think I liked the whole like ammo count on the gun. That like impressed me when I was younger. I know that Doom 2 had the chainsaw. I'm trying to remember if the chainsaw was available in the original Doom. You might be right. You could definitely get a chainsaw very early in Doom 2. If you immediately turn back on your position in the first level. Map 01. Then there's a small area with a chainsaw just sitting. And weapons you can get in Map 01. You can get a rocket launcher in Map 01, Doom 2. It's a very specific line def you have to run over. You have to drop onto a square box on the floor that's sort of elevated from a high spot, and that opens a door that leads to a chainsaw, to a rocket launcher in the room full of all the health potions. I would play through the classic Doom games, but there is a point where I stop enjoying them. And that's usually around about episode 2.
I believe the source of the invasion was from the main portal here in Delta. After you send that transmission...
It's the same issue I had with Blood. Like, when Blood came out, I tried to stream Blood, and just couldn't get into it. $246. I bet save and load is like instant on PC. Like quick save, quick load. It was such a good set piece last time that they're doing it again. Nice one. It made it without dying. Now I gotta go back and get all the health I could. That looks like a dangerous fall. That also looks like a dangerous fall. Shotgun shells. Just kind of hoping there'd be something up there. Okay, good. More healed up. Got a decent amount of armor. I was honestly expecting there to be an enemy in that.
Marine, computer system shows Swan and Campbell are still in the area. Watch out for them. And get that transmission sent.
Rob Finch. What's Rob Finch up to these days? Fuck. Hey, Vlad. How was Romulus? Hideo Kojima seemed to enjoy it. And if Kojima enjoyed it, it was probably good. It's great. So let's say I've seen the original Alien, I've seen Aliens a couple of times. I've seen maybe Alien 3 once. I don't know a great deal about the Alien franchise. Would I, as somebody who
Marine, you hear me?
doesn't have a great deal of experience with Alien, enjoy it? Or is it more of a film for people who are already fans of the franchise?
Under UAC control. Cancel that transmission.
What would you say?
Satellite connection established.
You fool. You have no idea what you just did. The crew
Right,
is
okay.
with those ships. Who knows what can happen?
I'll check it out when it comes out.
Injured all of Earth.
I was thinking about an Alien tier list.
Transmission successful.
Alien Isolation. Here's the thing about Alien Isolation, right? I've explained this before on stream, but I'm happy to explain it again. The game starts with you... You're like, okay, this is it. Alien Isolation. This is an Alien game. Can't wait. Fucking love the movies. Alright, the movies I've seen. Love the aliens. I think they're great. I think the xenomorphs are cool in it. Can't wait. Start playing Alien Isolation. Your enemies are synths and humans with guns. For like the first 2 to 2.5 hours of the game. I turned it off. 2 to 2.5 hours in, I switched game. And I didn't go back to Alien Isolation. I didn't even get to meet the xenomorph that chases you. Because I was just fucking bored out of my skull. I received a free copy of Alien Isolation because one of my friends, IRL, was a beta tester for the game and had keys. So I had a key for Alien Isolation on release for Steam. I just couldn't get into it. And knowing that the game was developed with VR in mind and then an official VR release never came out, like, annoys me no end. But as has been mentioned before, there is like a VR mod, and I might be tempted to check the game out with the VR mod. Also, it's one of those games where it really isn't a bad idea to play through on a lower difficulty. Because once you go to higher difficulties, the whole, like, idea of it being a smart alien that's chasing you and learning where you are by listening to your sounds and paying attention to what you do, that illusion is all gone if the alien just knows where you are all the time. So, if I do play Alien Isolation, if I do go back to it and give it another shot, I'm sure as fuck not playing it on a hard difficulty. I'll probably play it on easy. Probably. Because then at the very least, I'll get some enjoyment out of it. It won't be like bashing my head against a wall or trying to get blood from a stone, you know? How do I get over there? Back when Alien Isolation was getting shown off during development, it was at a lot of conventions and shows, and it was playable in VR. The game was designed to be a VR title. But when it came out, there wasn't really a great deal in the way of consumer-grade VR headsets. Right now, Sega and Fox, so I guess Disney at this point, Sega and Fox are sitting on the opportunity to make some crazy good money from a Quest 3 native port of Alien Isolation. If it's already been ported to Android, it's 90% of the way there. Because the Quest 3 is Android. If they brought Alien Isolation to Quest 3, running natively on the headset, yeah. I think they would make some crazy money, and they would make some crazy money fast. And Sega are embracing the Quest headset quite a bit. You know, they're really exploring the VR space. I think they should do it. They should port it to Quest, and if they do that, I will definitely play it. Wow, that was smart. I want to get that. I don't even need that armor that's on the other side. I hate that IGN damaged its sales by getting someone who sucked at playing it to rate it. Interesting. I mean, I would have rated the game low based on the experience that I had. Games journalists typically should be good at video games. If you're in access journalism in video games and you're not good at video games, get the fuck out. Hand over your job to people who are good at video games and do enjoy video games. Yeah? Otherwise, you've got a Dean Takahashi Cuphead moment. And I will never forget. Oh, Manny Garcia! I will never forget Dean Takahashi. That name will go down in history as a notorious example of giving a games journalist access to video games when they are dog shit bad at them. Yeah, that's the guy who couldn't jump and dash. Have you seen the clip? I think it's Oni Plays. Have you seen the clip where the guy who's with Oni, I don't think it's Oni who's doing it, I think it's the guy who's playing with him, is like, oh, this tutorial is stupid, I can't fucking get past, and he's doing like the piss take of Dean Takahashi, and he clips he clips through the wall that you're meant to jump and dash through. It's amazing. The absolute, like, minute of laughter that follows is some of the best, it's one of the best things I've ever seen. It's so good. Oh! Was that the Doom gameplay? The alien being an unkillable machine made him think the game was bad. I can understand if, like, every game you've played is, like, murder the aliens. Bang, 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 shoot, shoot, shoot. But I don't think at any point it was ever implied by the game or by the game's marketing that you were able to kill the alien. Like, even I, someone who, like, barely knew much about the game going in, knew that the alien was unkillable and that was by design. Right?
Unable to transmit message.
Even I knew that. So it's ridiculous to think that somebody would rate the game poorly on something that they already know is the case and why it's the case. You know what I mean? Like, says the guy who criticized Famicom games the other day for being dog shit when he knows why they were dog shit. Because they had limited amount of space to work with on very small cards. Right, I think in the case of that, maybe the only film they had seen was Aliens. So they were under the impression that these things were, you know, would come at them in swarms and they would, you know, eviscerate them with bullets and boom, bang, done. Like, maybe that's what happened. But as you say, Aliens is... There are plenty of aliens, you know. You got, like, Aliens versus Predator or whatever. Alien is about the one. And it just seems silly to me to give the game a bad rating based on that, when it was pretty clear going in that it is about one alien chasing you. I am so lost. Right, this is where I took the alien, the guard sentry along with me. Whoa! An enemy just appeared out of nowhere. It's still from the best. The original Resident Evil, the way you kill the final boss was taken from some like really notoriously bad 80s horror movie with a grizzly bear. Take from the best. Copy from the best. Message sent. Oh, I've done that. I'm so confused. Resident Evil 2 is bad because Mr. X is invincible. That, but Resident Evil 3 with Nemesis. As a kid, I thought Nemesis was stupid. It's like, why can't I kill it? As an adult, I understand why you can't kill Nemesis. It's in his name. Do you know what Nemesis means? Like, it's in his name. Yeah, but the more times you knock out Nemesis, the harder he is to kill. The more Mr. X's you kill, the harder they are to kill. This isn't Resident Evil Gun Survivor, where, you know, you kill like 30 Mr. X's across the course of the whole game. Downing him on New Game Plus. Is that on Resident Evil 3, or is that on Resident Evil 3 Remake, or is that on Resident Evil 2, or is that on Resident Evil 2 Remake, or is that on Resident Evil 9? 110. Where the fuck do I go now? Where the fuck did you come from? That's my punishment for just, like, having a look around and finding stuff. RE3 original. Ah. Mr. X. Function more like a room-specific mini-boss. There's like a helicopter, right, that goes overhead and is carrying like 6 canisters. So it's like, there's more than one Mr. X. There's like only one Nemesis. I really want the Hookman version of Resident Evil 4 to leak. I want the Hookman version of Resi 4 to leak so badly. This is where I need to go. Capcom announced Resident Evil 4 Remake, and during, like, developer diary or whatever, they said, we're going to explore ideas that we could not explore in the original Resident Evil 4. General, like, jargon that game developers will say, just to make you excited for a release. You know, general jargon. You know, general jargon of the bullshit army. We're going to explore things we couldn't explore on the PS2. We couldn't explore on the GameCube. I'm like, fuck yes, Hookman, this is it. Hookman, dolls, apparitions, hallucinations. No, none of it. But Resident Evil 8 played with a little bit of that. Resident Evil 8 played with a little bit of that. We got, like, the whole thing with Maggie or whatever her name is. What was the fucking doll? Angie? We had, like, the whole thing with Angie. And, like, the house full of, like, apparitions and scares and ghosts. So, they explored some of that stuff. So it wasn't all tossed away. In many ways, Resident Evil 8 was like a first-person version of Resident Evil 4. You went to Vlad's backyard, just like you do in... Well, you don't really go to Vlad's backyard in Resident Evil 4, but it's sort of like Vlad's backyard. You kill animals to have them as food. You have an attaché case that you store all your items in. It was basically Resident Evil 4. We even had a merchant who knows the merchant from Resident Evil 4. I think that's why I like Resi 8 so much. Is that it just feels like a first-person version of Resident Evil 4. Of course, if you want a first-person version of Resident Evil 4, the version that is still exclusive to the Quest 2 and Quest 3 is fantastic. A little bit censored, a little bit too censored for my liking, but very enjoyable from a gameplay point of view. No matter how much stuff you cut out because modern audiences... Oh god, Revenant. No matter how much you cut out because modern audiences, you will never do enough damage to Resident Evil 4 to stop it being Resident Evil 4. It will remain the utterly fantastic game it has always been. No matter how much you try to sabotage it. Oh, the Revenants are sick. I love what they've done with them. It's my first time seeing the Doom 3 Revenant. It's cool. Yeah, Resident Evil 8 has like a unique boss for each chapter, and as you say, there's a lot of sort of like Hammer or Universal monster or Hammer horror sort of going on with it. I lost so much health there. I'm not allowed to go back. Oh, Dios fucking mio. Sucks to be me, am I right? Wonder if we'll get another boss fight soon. Because if we do, that'll be a good place to stop. It is amazing, though. We've got almost 3 hours. Doom 3 is just one of those games. I don't like that the imps can pounce, because that makes them extra dangerous. Lady D is Dracula, fish guy, creature of the Black Lagoon. Oh, right. I see where we're going. Heisenberg's got a lot of beard, so maybe he's like... Oh, well, there's a werewolf in the game, isn't there? There's werewolves. So that fits with, like, the Wolf Man. I wonder what Heisenberg sort of falls under. I liked Heisenberg. When he was revealed, I thought he was Dante. I got super excited at the idea of Dante being in Resident Evil. But it wasn't Dante. Hey! Kong! Bro! And then a turd. What's up? What's turdlin'? Days Gone Dev. Yeah, I saw. He's so angry that people are having a good time. He is the embodiment of the stop having fun meme. Stop having fun! Let me see how my tweet is doing. Because I'm, you know, notoriously vain. Because he might have seen my tweet. And he might have banned me. Blocked me. No, he hasn't blocked me. Not yet. I retweeted his tweet that says, "Kinda sad that Deke has been reduced to promoting other games. Well done, Ben Studio. Way to protect your legacy." To which I posted my favorite reaction image, which is the, might be hard to see. It's the guy who says, "This fucking sucks, actually." And he's pointing at, like, a hot dog on a skateboard. And it says, "Literal coolest thing ever." That is what that Ben Studio guy is doing right now. This fucking sucks, actually. Like, anybody getting their character appear in Astro, like, That shit's an honor. Your character is appearing in the fastest selling and only PlayStation 5 game ever released. One game. I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how much I buy. I might go back to Days Gone. I picked it up on Steam when it came out. When it came out. Back when it launched, I bought it at full price. And I played it for, I think it was about 4 hours I streamed it for. And I went, oh, this is interesting. I can see why this is a sleeper hit / I can see why people like this. I'm like, I can see why this is popular. Oh, great. I hadn't saved in a while. Oh. That means I'm going to be angry now. And I'm going to try and rush this. And I'm going to be making mistakes. Right. We both bought that game at full price. We both wanted to like it. I'm not gonna let this Davin Geek or whatever his fucking name is. I'm not gonna let this asshole, like, ruin the game for me. The truth is, not everybody, you know, gets lucky, puts out a game that is considered a masterpiece, is beloved, and sells like crazy. Not everyone gets that. Life is cruel. Sometimes you're unlucky. Sometimes you release a game that has the makings of a masterpiece and it just doesn't hit. It just doesn't hit the spot for people. Sometimes that just happens. It's unfortunate, but it's the truth. Days Gone could have been the best game ever made. If it dropped at a bad time, or if it didn't get good press or attention, that's it. That's the hand that life has dealt you. I can understand being bitter about it. I can understand being upset that your game with everybody's favourite Sith Lord, Sam Witwer, was not a success. I can understand being upset. But just because you had a bad day, you had a bad launch, doesn't mean that someone who is just trying to suggest changing your worldview, you don't turn around and say, shh, the adults are talking. Get directly in ground. Do not pass go. Do not decompose. Yes, Days Gone came out in a very rough state. By the time I was playing it on Steam, God tier port. I don't think I had a single issue with that game in terms of performance, and I wasn't even running it on as nice a Dr. Frankenstein. That makes sense, actually, for Heisenberg. I was playing it on shitter hardware than I have now. So I bet it would run even better on my current rig. And it ran fine. Like, I had no problems in terms of performance, frame drops, the game being glitchy. I was a little bit disappointed, because I had heard, you know, that Days Gone was this uber glitchy mess, and by the time I was playing it on PC, it was fine. I was kind of a little bit disappointed that it wasn't buggy. Maybe I'll go back to it someday. I mean, I have it on Steam. It would be, you know, be foolish not to return to it and maybe, you know, take another look at it. I think if I did, I would start over from the very beginning, so it's fresh. I liked it, and I like Sam Witwer as an actor. He only has one style of acting, which is give everyone the Zoolander look. You know, the smolder, you know, and speak in a sort of low volume voice. That's the Sam Witwer way. That is how Sam Witwer act. But I've always liked him as an actor, even though he has one style, and it's that's his acting style. For some reason, I still like him as an actor, despite that. I liked him in The Force Unleashed, I liked him in Days Gone, and I liked him in The Mist. So that's 3 things I've seen him in, and 3 things I like him in. So, you know what? But imagine your game getting representation in a very popular game that's selling fast and you have an issue with it. Exactly what I'm talking about. You know, if I were a game developer and my character was represented in Astrobot, I would be fucking honored. But you know, maybe I'm the one who's wrong. Okay? Maybe I'm the one who's wrong. Maybe I should listen to the adults who are talking. Guy's so fucking full of himself. The adults are talking. If that's what adults are like, I don't want to grow up. Alright? If that's what being an adult is, talking down to and condescending people on the twitter.com, I don't want to be an adult. I want to be child. Oh, is that why? Because the game is cute and cartoony? That it's childish? Oh, don't get me started on Grums. The thing I hate about fucking Grums, right, is that in the style of all fascist dictators... Don't worry, stick with me. I know where I'm going with this. In the style of all fascist dictators, you get people on your side by finding 1 or 2 truths that everybody can agree with. And then, once you've got people on board with those truths, you slowly, over time, try to change their thought process to match yours by sneaking in a little bit each time of your own bullshit to get people to believe you. Anyway, as someone who does that himself, I can confirm that it's very effective. I hate that Grums speaks for me on, like, so many things. Like censorship in video games. Everybody's like, Grum's tweeted. Grum's tweeted this. Grum's tweeted that. Like, I don't give a fuck what Grum's tweeted. Fuck Grum's. But everyone's like, Grum said this. Grum said that. Grum's is fighting for, you know, uncensored games. It's like, no, he's not. Grum's is on a grift to get money for his failing game. Wait. Isn't that what Garvin's doing as well? Isn't Garvin on a grift to get money for his failing game? Huh. Grums is that gum that gets stuck on your shoe and you don't realize for a while, and it's too ingrained, so now you should just throw the shoes. We'll see. Garvin won't get a cent, though. I hope so. Grums is currently being cooked because it's 8 years in dev. Yeah, I've seen it. It looks like an asset flip. There's a clip of somebody walking into water, and then they tilt the camera underwater, and the screen is, like, completely... You know, there's no, like, water filter applied. It's not, like, blue or like, obscured under the water. You could just see, like, a solid ceiling of water texture above. And the character does not move any slower. Now, I know that these are things that you don't necessarily get working early into a game's development. But 8 years into a game's development is not early into a game's development. I can understand being bitter. I can understand being upset. But at the end of the day, if you are looking at people having a good time, enjoying a game, and you're so bitter that you're saying, oh, you know, well done, you know, through gritted teeth, just, I don't know. It just doesn't look good. Like, I barely knew this Garvin guy, right? This Garmin guy. Right? Barely knew this guy. Barely knew about this guy. Barely knew about this drama in regards to Days Gone. I've learned so much about the guy, this guy, today, that I've ever known in my entire life. And what I have learned is that he is just a sad, strange little man, and he has my pity. Why so many enemies? Come on! Oh, you see, this is where I went wrong. I thought the game was Mood, but it's Doom. Garvin is as bitter as Jaffe. Oh, Jaffe. Jaffe's an interesting one, right? Why? Why? Jaffe is another one of these where every now and then they will say something that is a genuine, like, truth that you can get behind. And you're like, damn, David Jaffe is talking some sense. And then he'll do something really fucking stupid, and you remember, oh wait, no, this is David Jaffe we're talking about. This is Jaffa Cake we're talking about. You have a moment of, like, post-Jaff clarity, you know? Remember that whole thing with Metroid Dread, where he was like, how you meant to know you're meant to shoot up at the ceiling? It's like, I wonder if it's the enemy up there. I wonder if it's the very strange partial ceiling. Why would that be there? Maybe the enemy's being diagonally above you is designed to make you aim diagonally above you, so you shoot, miss the enemy, and get the ceiling, and notice the ceiling's destructible. It's like... But this guy's like, it's terrible game design. It's bad. Go by Shantae instead. And then Shantae has, like, exactly the same kind of bullshit going on. Why buy Shantae? Because there's, you know... There's an attractive young lady that's showing more skin than Samus does. I don't know. I haven't played the new God of War games, so I can't vouch, right? I like angry Kratos, who's like, oh, I will kill everything and everyone because I'm miserable. I like that. But I might also like moody dad Kratos. Kratos, Cabrutus. Yeah, I might like moody dad Kratos, you know? And I might like him just as much as angry Kratos. I might decide I don't like him anywhere near as much as angry Kratos. But I'm gonna reserve judgment until I play it. What I'm more concerned about when it comes to new God of War, I'm more concerned about how much gameplay there's going to be in it. How long the game is. Those are the things that put me off. Is knowing that the game is like 40 hours and most of it cutscene. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little. The point still stands. You hand me a game like this, where it's moment-to-moment gameplay versus QTE-filled, cutscene-filled game. I'm gonna pick something like this. But that's just on that's just a matter of like my personal taste when it comes to video games, right? People who like something a bit more broody, a bit more of a walk-in sim. That's perfectly fine. Different strokes, different folks. People have different tastes. That's the thing. I don't see a great deal of the combat. When people are posting footage online on Twitter or whatever, it's always like slow brooding, oh, he's in a boat and he's rowing, or whatever. Like, I'm like, great. Cool. I might get round to this sometime. I look at that and I think, that's not something I would drop 30 on, let alone 60, you know? I like games that are very involved, and cutscene-filled games can still be very involved. A good example would be the Yakuza series. The Yakuza series. Definitely Yakuza. Yakuza Like a Dragon. It's the subtitle. That is like a perfect example of a game that is cutscene heavy. You know, it's not like active real-time combat, but it is an extremely solid JRPG with a lot of depth in its turn-based combat. And it's sort of pseudo-turn-based, pseudo-real-time combat. I can watch... Here's the thing. You speak about Japan purist with games, but it's never been called Yakuza in Japan, and I find you so funny about that. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Like, I won't say Evil Within, I'll say Psycho Break. Fucker! I'll say Psycho Break instead of Evil Within. But I'll say Yakuza instead of Like a Dragon. Because otherwise I'd be saying Ryuga Gotoku. But it's funny. Instead of Bakeru, a lot of the time I say Atogi Katsugeki Mamada no Bakeru Oracle Saitara no Sainan. and then in the next sentence I'll say Bakeru. Why did it spawn behind me now? So when you say Yakuza Like a Dragon, you mean Like a Dragon 7, The Whereabouts of Light and Darkness. Yes! Yes, I fucking do. They all have, like, these long, elaborate subtitles in the Japanese. Pretty sure 6 was called, like, The Song of Life. I think they kept that name in the localization, I'm not sure. I need health. God, the localizers just couldn't help just like fucking with the title. Like, it was so close to an accurate translation, but they had to... Yeah. Can't go back. So I'm literally stuck with no health. It's the dumbest shit ever. There's the fat guy. Infinite wealth is just infinite wealth. Nice. I'm still not fully on board with Haruka having a kid. I think it does, like, destroy a little bit of her purity. And there's going to be people out there that go, oh my god, purity. Oh, he's one of those, is he? Oh. Because Haruka's been fucked by the weird Korean ginseng or whatever those people are called. What is it? Oh, what are they called? Gamjul or something? The half Korean, half Japanese. Oh god. I'm terrible. I am absolutely terrible. You can't take me anywhere. I have, so far in Metal Gear, in Astro, I have unlocked Cyborg Ninja, and I have unlocked Snake. To give you an idea where I am, the last level I played in Astro was the first level of Constellation 2. Anything after that, I have not yet seen. I decided that I was going to do some Doom today instead of Astro. Okay, we're starting to make some progress now. Really am hating that there's fucking revenants everywhere, though. I'm midway through the last one. The themed stage at the end of World 3 is fucking hilarious. Well, I'm assuming that the themed stages are based on the people we rescued. Is that right? Yeah, the people we rescued in Playroom. So, we rescued Ape Escape Monkey. And the first theme stage was Ape Escape themed. So, in theory, the remaining... No? Okay. Then my theory is shot down. There's a theory that we're going to get a Stellar Blade themed level as a DLC. Based on the fact that there's a Stellar Blade credit in the credit scroll. Well, there's our DLC then, isn't it? There's our DLC levels.
Warning. Flow control system failure. Toxins identified.
Find the pump panel to
Execute
shut down the
cleanup
malfunctioning
procedure.
pump. Please, if you're gonna, like, drop enemies on me like that, at least give me some
Flow
help.
control system failure. Toxins identified. Execute cleanup procedure.
Execute order. I've never associated Mortal Kombat with PlayStation. Interesting. I have. I associate Mortal Kombat Trilogy with PlayStation. Mortal Kombat Trilogy being the first one to release in Japanese. Back on PlayStation 1. I associate at least Mortal Kombat 9 with PlayStation because Kratos was playable in it. Only on PlayStation. So I do associate Mortal Kombat with PlayStation. But I can also understand not associating it with PlayStation. At this point, Kratos has been in more fighting games than he hasn't. That's an exaggeration, but he's been in Soul Calibur, Broken Destiny on the PSP. He's been in Mortal Kombat. He's been in... He's been in two fighting... He's been in PlayStation All-Stars. Mortal Kombat Special Forces. Oh, we don't talk about Special Forces. The one Special Forces fan is in chat right now and it's like, excuse me? Why don't we talk about Special Forces? Sub-Zero was on the Nintendo 64, though admittedly it was a very, very bad port of an already very, very bad game. Yes, although Mortal Kombat 4 was on Dreamcast, and from what I understand, that was an okay port. Shaolin Monks was on... I want to say it was on original Xbox as well, but it may well have been just PS2. It definitely wasn't on GameCube. If Shaolin Monks was on GameCube, I'd know. I've always wanted to play Shaolin Monks. I've never had a good excuse to play it. I've never had a good excuse to play Shaolin Monks. It's a little bit rare and slightly expensive and hard to get your hands on now, so, you know, I've never found it in the wild for a reasonable price. One time I did find it at an outdoor thrift sale. There was no disc in the fucking case. Somebody had the disc. No, let's try to be a bit more optimistic. Not necessarily someone had the disc. Maybe someone forgot to take the disc out of their console when they gave it away. Maybe. Let's not be too, like, overtly negative. Oh, by the Thrill Kill guys. The Wu-Tang, wait, Wu-Tang? Taste the Pain. Wu-Tang, associated with the Shaolin monks. There's a connection here. There's a connection here. Speaking of Midway, Xbox and PS2, there's a little game that could called PsyOps: The Mindgate Conspiracy, which I like very much. And PsyOps has an unlockable Scorpion and I think Sub-Zero outfit for the main characters. You can play as Scorpion or Sub-Zero. I like PsyOps. PsyOps is one of those games that's just... We're never going to see a remaster or re-release of that. And it hurts me to think about that. I wonder what the backward compatibility is like on Xbox 360 for Silence. It doesn't have to be officially supported, because my my RGH Xbox now has modified compatibility files to allow me to boot any game, regardless of whether it's on the whitelist or not. Well, that's not entirely accurate. It would be more accurate to say that instead of one whitelist, there's now 7. And it fully features every single game ID. Oh, right, okay, so this was one way.
Pump station shut down.
Second Sight. I've got that on Steam. Is that a horror game? It's about, like, possessing people and stuff. I mean, that's horror, right? Kinda. I mean, can Doom really be called a horror game? Yeah, Free Radical, the Time Splitters guys. X-Rare, Graham Norgate, all that. I don't know if Norgate did the soundtrack to Second Sight. Stealth Thriller? It could count. Doom 3 can, yeah. In Doom 1, 2, 64, 2016, and Eternal, you are the horror. See, I thought about Naughty Bear as a horror game, but... I mean, if it is in, like, the most vaguest terms. That, again, like, the player is the horror. In that one. House of the Dead, I can see that in the environment design. Of course, for a Doom that plays like House of the Dead, you want the mobile game. Couldn't watch that game because of the sound design being so disturbing. Naughty Bear, yeah, fuck. It's fucking horrendous. It is grotesque without being grotesque, you know? Like, the violence is not explicit. But, like, it doesn't need to be explicit, because, as you say, the horror comes from, like, so much more of the whole package itself. Biggest full-priced letdown of a purchase. I've heard that. I've heard that about Naughty Bear from a lot of people. At the time Naughty Bear came out, I was rocking an Xbox 360 that I played offline. I had my profile on one of those small white memory units. My Xbox 360 console at the time had a modified disk drive firmware to allow me to run burned dual layer DVDs. So I didn't rush out to buy Naughty Bear because I had already played it and I fucking hated it. I'm not sure. Mine was done by somebody. I knew a guy who knew a guy who did 360 consoles. Right? This person lived in, like, Dorset or somewhere around that area. So I shipped my Xbox off to them through this person I knew who lived around my area. So I don't know who actually did the modification on my 360. All I could tell you about it is they did it and it worked. And I was burning off Xbox 360 games with my dual layer DVD drive. Buying discs off Amazon. Downloading games on, like, the world's worst fucking broadband. Like, back when the speed was, like, 2 meg down to, like, you know, Naughty Bear was a waste of bandwidth. I've since got a physical copy of Naughty Bear, but as we've seen on stream before, I've been unable to get the fuck to work. Like, I insert it into the Xbox console and it just says either Xbox 360 disc, video disc, or it comes up and says disc not inserted. So I have it installed on my RGH console instead. And that is likely how I will play Naughty Bear if I do decide to do it for spooky streams. Because it is horrifying, just not in the sense of you're escaping from something terrifying. You are the terrifying. You know, we've done You Are the Terrifying before. We streamed Carrion 1 year on spooky streams. So we've done the You Are the Terrifying before. Fucking hell! Dead by Daylight? Oh god, no, don't mention that while Ant might be in earshot. No, we never finished Dead by Daylight. Dead by Daylight. Oh, we didn't. No, I'm not opposed, though if I do pick that game back up, I will be dropping my difficulty level all the way to Babby. Darkwing Duck. Really stretching the horror theme now with Darkwing Duck on NES. I'm fairly sure that Way Forward pitched a remaster or remake of Darkwing Duck and got turned down. Is there a Count Duckula game then? Or would it be on, like, the fucking Commodore 64 or something? I'm currently looking at doing, like, an itch.io pack. I've been slowly collecting a handful of itch.io horror games. Some of these are like student productions. Some of them things that people are trying to sell. Quantity PS1 demo disc. Mascot horror. Been like collecting a pack of potential itch.io games for like a segment. I really liked doing the Psychotros games last year. Because even now, I'm pretty much the only person on YouTube that's covered any of the Psychotros games. There's a certain magic about it. If you type in Psychotros on YouTube, I'm the person that comes up. So I want to find things like that. Like the weird, absolute, horrendous, ubernich garbage. Let's spawn more spiders. Because you walked over a line death. You didn't open a wall that contained the spiders. We thought you wouldn't notice. Atari ST C64 ZX Spectrum. Fair enough. I had a feeling that was probably the case, given the age of Duckula as a license. I figured it was probably on one of those systems. That was a very good guess on my part. But to be fair, there was only like 2 or 3 like major home computers that everything was released on back in the day. So if it wasn't C64, it was gonna be Amiga, or it was gonna be Atari ST, or it was gonna be ZX Spectrum. Because they were like the common. That's not fair. How far will it let me go back? How much of the level is still spawned in? Thank you. Ever play White Day? Attempted. I played White Day on the PlayStation 4 a few years back, and there was a quick time event where the on-screen prompts didn't appear. The on-screen prompts just wouldn't show. The game had decided, for whatever reason, that was as far as I was going to get that evening. Re-download Sackboy. That's a good shout. And, you know, if you need to lie to yourself, there's an Astro skin that you can wear. There is a free downloadable Astro skin. If you need to lie to yourself, yeah, I only got a couple of worlds in. I was planning to do an entire playthrough and I never did. Ooh, rocket launcher. Dino Crisis is tempting. I like Dino Crisis. I always share the story that I saw Dino Crisis as a kid, and you see the first dead body like laying on the ground, and like you haven't even seen a dinosaur yet, and I was too freaked out. Carry on playing. As a little kiddie, I was scared. I was terrified because there was dead body. And it was done by dinosaur! Oh no! Like, it's so comical now. Like, I'd play like Dino Crisis now, and it would just be like the most comical, silly, campy shit. You know? And I think, really? I found that scary? And then Dino Crisis 3, I played very briefly. 3 was also on PC, by the way. I think. Might be wrong. But I tried playing a little bit of 3. And Dino Crisis 3 has this weird, like, it's heavily action. It's action-based. Right, only for the Xbox. Fair enough. I stand corrected. It's an action game rather than a horror game. And it has, like, a strange combo system going on that is just very peculiar. I didn't hate it, but I was like, wow. This is Dino Crisis 3, huh? Right. This feels like a pretty good place to stop. It's almost midnight. And I've been going for almost 4 hours. So I shall make an executive decision and head off to the land of slumber soon. Oh, the combo system was in 2. I never played 2. It just seemed weird for that to be in a survival horror game. The Abe series could work as a horror theme. If I played them on stream, I'd want to play New and Tasty and Soulstorm, because those are the versions that I haven't played. So it would be completely new to me. Whereas I played like Odyssey and Exodus before. I'm not really particularly keen on Munch's Odyssey and Stranger's Wrath. I have tried to play them before, but yeah, Soulstorm is the remake of Exodus. New and Tasty is the remake of Odyssey, and Soulstorm is the remake of Exodus. Yeah. And they're both like Xbox One, sort of PS4 era, so. But I have an Xbox One here. Well, I have an Xbox Series X here, which will play Xbox One games. Right. Thank you very much for coming. I am gonna go, but it's been swell. Thank you for another fantastic turnout. It's great to just like go over the gaming news and sort of chill out and play a spooky game, and I really want to try and get live streams to be a thing almost every night going forwards. That's the plan anyway. Thanks for the stream. You're welcome, as always. It is great to have you here. Right, I'm gonna get some sleep. All this time we could have been on the spooky BRB screen. We could have been on the spooky BRB screen getting spooked out by the spooky Gmod map. Alright. Until next time, if we live that long, take care. Bye-bye.